Previously on Love Languages.
You can't expect the man to do it all the time because you said it, you want it all the time.
I want all of it. I'm all about it, okay? Looking at these love languages, I'm thinking about where I am in life in terms of like my career.
I work hard on my muscles and I want my woman to touch me. So if it's not enough, you're gonna get vexed.
If it's not enough, then really, truly, then in my opinion, you guys are probably gonna disagree with me, but then in my opinion, maybe we're not a good match.
You don't want to get that on your mind because if that's not his main love language,
okay,
it's gonna be a learning curve.
So the next question I wanted to ask you guys is why do you think that some people have difficulty successfully implementing these love languages into their relationship?
If I do the same quiz tomorrow, I might give you a different answer depending on my situation or
But
my circumstance.
But then don't you think
I'm exaggerating if I say tomorrow, but you know what I mean. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? In a couple months, I might feel different. I might be in a different environment. I might be going through something different in my life that has nothing to do with anything or my family, and that might affect me in a certain, like, you know what I'm saying?
I think for me, when I first read the book before I even did the whole profiling, it was the exact same. Like, acts of service is always a thing for me, and I think reason why, because I was looking at it in one direction. And if things were rough in our relationship, would a gift solve the issue? Would words of affirmation solve the issue? Would quality time solve the issue? Would act of service? What would in a rough spot between me and my spouse, what would still show me that they care for me and love for me? And that's how I always looked at it. That's why I always said active service and quality time are the two things that are always important to me, because if we're going through a rough spot and you bring me a gift, I'll be like, come on.
Right.
Don't bring me a pair of Jordans. That's not gonna. That's something I don't really care about.
Right. But going back to the conversations that you have during courtship, what I find, especially with this love language stuff, it's like, I think it's so easy for people to like go on a couple dates in the beginning and it's all fresh and new and exciting. Have this conversation and the two be like, you know, as you say, oh, you know, I love to cuddle, and a man be like, oh yeah, that's no problem, I'm into that too.
Easy.
Until he gets to where he wants to be with you, but then it's like, you know, a year, 6 months down the line, 2 years down the line, he can't keep that same energy because it's not really, you know, the truth. And then it comes out.
We don't encourage people to be honest with us. We say we want truth, but then when people give us truth, sometimes we resist and make their life hard, you know what I'm saying? That's still no excuse. They should still be honest and be true to themselves.
I agree.
But a lot of times we encourage and enable people to lie and to pretend, because it's like, if I don't do it, you're gonna, you know what I mean? And self-preservation is always number one. This is not about survival, but it's always, and once you sense that whatever, sometimes you just, all right, this person's gonna shut up or they're gonna leave. You'll do it. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying this is what happens sometimes. So as much as there's a responsibility on the person to just be truthful regardless, sometimes we have to understand that sometimes people are trying to be truthful with us and we just see what we want.
Yes.
No, and that's,
so sometimes we have to look at both sides, you know what I mean?
Or that common thing of, oh, that'll change. I can change it. Oh, no. Oh, that's what you say
That
now.
age-old mistake?
No. Yeah, exactly.
And that's understandable before, because we're growing up, we're learning each other. But I just feel like at our age now, all that stuff, we have to eliminate it.
Like you got to do it from the
Yeah,
onset. Like
we
it's
just have to
kind
be
of what
honest.
Sharon is saying
What
in
did you
terms of
say?
in the courtship stage.
That's an
doing that
important
and addressing
stage.
that
Very
in the courtship
important
stage.
I
because
skip
then
that
you can save
mad
yourself
times,
a lot of time.
but even if you do it at the courtship stage, like he was saying, there's going to be time where someone will just conform and be like, oh well, yeah, that's no problem.
The courtship stage is very important, and it's very important you're honest during that stage, because that's the foundation.
Yeah.
Right?
The whole relationship.
Foundations
And I
mash
agree
up, everything else
with
falls
you,
down.
you know, see, like there's nothing about relationships that should just stop, you know, once you hit a certain level. It has to be an ongoing, because people change, circumstances change, you know, environments change, finances, just all the things that affect relationships and could thus affect your love languages.
A lot of times when you get into a relationship, the next person is maybe a higher or lower.
Yes.
It's just your...
In what way? Like higher what?
When it comes to level of understanding
Oh,
your partner and how to deal with
Level
it.
of intimacy,
So there's times you're going to speak to someone that may not even heard 5 love languages in their life. And there's people that have spoken to you. You ever read the book? What the hell are you talking about?
Yeah, I'm not familiar. I'm not too familiar.
That's what I'm saying, but
And that-
you can't hit them with that.
Yeah.
But you have to feel you have to feel them out, understand them, right?
Yes.
Because they may think gift giving, which not saying all women, a lot of women think gift giving is a way to show love, and quality time is another one, right? But they probably don't realize that words of affirmation is something else that they probably think is higher on the list.
Yeah.
Just that they never got it right, or they just don't understand it. Because I tell you, when you read the book, it opens your eyes differently.
I just want to say, I just asked him if he's in a relationship. He said he's single. To all the girls out there on YouTube, this man right here, I am telling you, this man right here is ready for a relationship.
This is some psychoanalysis.
This man is ready for love.
Love connection.
He's read the books. When a man has read a book on love, he's ready for love.
You know what? But hold up.
This man is ready, bro.
But hold up.
And I do understand if we're not compatible, because that's your main love language. You want to be loved that way, and as you should be.
Exactly.
But
Yeah, nothing's wrong with it. Nothing's wrong with it.
So maybe it goes back to what she was saying, that maybe then you're just not compatible enough. Maybe
100%.
maybe there's just another pair of love languages that might just intertwine with hers, but maybe not his particular one.
But it would suck though that they have to end the relationship.
Yeah, maybe they're not a pair, but maybe they are too, and they just need to sit down.
to iron it out.
Yeah, like maybe the
Without
second love
ruining-
languages are the ones that
could be.
But
you
what
guys
connects them
together.
deeper, yes.
And then I have a question for you. Would you rather your man, do it for you and like completely hate it, like completely just okay, but here for you, as opposed to like him just sitting down and be like, I get that you love that, but like it's not for me. Like, do you like what's better for you? The pretend or the
Just pretend you'll feel it though, because the genuineness of it will be out of it.
You'll feel it. You'll feel it.
That's the key word right
Yeah,
there. It has to be
genuine.
genuine.
It has to be genuine.
Right.
Imagine a man complimenting you half-ass,
Right?
touching you half-ass.
But you feel it in your heart, you'll see it, and you're just like, you know what, bye.
Yeah.
And that would be even worse.
Exactly.
It would be worse.
Right?
And that goes back to that goes back to my point where I said maybe we just aren't compatible.
100%.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Maybe we just aren't compatible.
Yes.
So it's something that I would definitely try first, try to discuss with them, try to see if there's a change. But then if I find that, this is something you don't like to do and I really like it, then probably we're not compatible.
All this sort of like textbook analysis type stuff, I think what trumps it all is actual real communication and interaction at the end of the day. It's great to step into a place with as much theory. It's kind of like we're actors, and it's kind of like you can prepare for the role, do all your backstories, do all your research, but once you are there, you kind of just have to live in the moment.
When you get out of a relationship, do you actually reflect and say, okay, what went wrong? Was it me? Was it her? Was it a combination of both?
Everybody points a finger, right?
Everybody points a finger, but sometimes you self-reflect and be like, okay, maybe I didn't call her.
And that was a point for my question, because I realized, even though there's a lot of layers, one of the main layers was the foundation. I've never been in a relationship where I took my time. But now that I'm trying to, I think I'm doing the more mature thing, but I'm finding more resistance from women because...
No,
and I understand it because of their experience, but they think I'm fucking around and I'm playing games.
But also,
100%.
And I'm trying to. They're like,
also,
what? I gotta talk to you for how much months?
No. But it also has a lot to do with the society that we live in now.
What do you mean?
In terms of
the hookup culture.
Yeah. Like I feel like now it's just like
culture.
Everything's about status. It's about how I look, how we look. What are we doing? What are you giving me? What am I getting from you? All these things. So now it's just like, okay, if I'm not getting what I want right now from you, then what are we doing? Are we here or are we not? Right? We're not a very patient society anymore.
So that means you're not sincere about me because you just want to look.
Society, period, right now is all about convenience. Yeah. Right? And so unfortunately it will translate into relationships and friendships. Like if I'm not, and we're also very not all of us, but we also are very materialistic. So if we're not getting a particular something that we want, whether it's love, money, whatever the case may be, then we're gonna be sliding down the scale. It's just
that's the point. That's immature.
But that's why. But that's why you're having that problem, because now you want to take your time, and women today don't want to take the time.
I'm not gonna empty my bank account and max my credit card.
Yeah, that's extreme.
Because you like it.
Because I love you, and that's the way you want to be loved. I'll be like, we're done.
That's
done. Sometimes when the person comes and wants that affection, give it to them. But they should understand. He's at his place right now. I love him. He's happy. Let me not bug him at this time. Let me not bug him.
Yeah.
But I tell you right now.
Yes.
But how often is that? So this is what I'm, you know what I mean?
They need to
So
understand.
this is what I'm trying to, right?
He looked at you too.
You squeeze me like I'm not girl. I will let you do.
Alright guys, well thank you so much for coming out today just to talk more about the 5 love languages and how to apply them in your life. And not just with your partner, but also with just your mom, your dad, your sister, your brother, your friends, right? And I hope that it's been helpful to all of you as well, just to know how to better relate with the people in your life and to have successful relationships. So thank you so much for tuning in to Dani Changg and my brand of lip service.
Woohoo!
This is fun.
Never thought I could be so.
To all the girls out there on YouTube,
I can disagree with you,
100%.
and you can disagree with me,
100%.
and we can discuss it,
And
and we're either gonna come in the middle or we're not. And if we don't,
that is still
you
okay.
need to decide if it's a deal breaker. We both need to decide if
Exactly.
it's a deal breaker or not.
Unselfish, cause I gave you everything.
only because when a man knows that his woman is proud of him and is proud of, you know, what he's doing, his job, a man feels invincible. A lot of men won't admit it, but we feel so powerful when we know a woman has our back. And when women do that through words, it means everything to us.
I gave you all that I had, now you want someone else. Then again, I should've known you had problems with commitment.
But of course, we like to hear that, yo, we look good.
Confrontation became consistent. Can't believe I thought you was different.
And thank you so much for tuning in to Dani Changg, DCG.
Wow.